For most college football programs, they were just starting up spring practice when the coronavirus hit. For the UNA Lions, that wasn't the case. They had already went through all of their spring practices and their spring game. So today I caught up with head coach Willis to see if this quarantine has affected them at all. I know you guys, before the coronavirus hit, had already had your spring game, you had your spring practices. So has the quarantine really affected you guys at all?
Yeah, it has. I mean, we got the spring practice in, don't get me wrong. And, you think about that, that was back into February through a little bit of March. So, we haven't had the guys around since, late March. So, there's a lot to it. When you get out of spring football, you're only talking 15 practices. So, you spend the rest of the time in the weight room and maybe whatever drills and football. You still are doing stuff all the time. And, so we not having them around it's not been good. It's been the best situation as far as making it work, but with the Zoom and FaceTimes and stuff like that, my biggest concern is just the academic side of things. When they're here, they have academic support. You have tutors, and you got study hall, and you got access to the library all night long, and it's just tough. A lot of these guys, they come from different backgrounds. They live all over from different states. And I've got 4 or 5 that have, internet issues. And, they do the best they can. They may travel down the road and go to a local hotel and sit or a library. And, it's just not the same when you're back home. Now, I would think some that probably, it's been an advantage for them a little bit because they get home in a more relaxed setting and probably have some family there that help them out too, but that's a big concern right now as academics.
As a coach, is it concerning not being able to even have access to a gym right now for your players?
Yeah, ideal would be great if they could be here and we could go back to maybe going in shifts. If you can only have 10 at a time, well, okay, you 10 come at this time, you 10. I wish we could get to that point. But I don't know. Everybody wants to know, what about football season? What's your take on it? It's just hard I don't think anybody knows. I really don't.
So how important is it for us to have a college football season and also, making sure everybody is safe while doing so?
We all want a football season. I can tell you, you know this. I don't have to tell you. That impacts a lot. Not having a season. We talk about economy and money and what universities make, and a lot of sports, they need football. Not just football needing football. I'm talking about sports throughout your department. And, we need to have this season. I really believe we need to get it off the ground and going. And, my thing would be right now is if we can get back, somebody said, well, how long do you need to get ready? If we're going to kick off like normal and we're going to play the full schedule in September, coach is going to tell you we need about 8 weeks. We need about 8 weeks to get a football team ready to go. Minimum 6. If you ask me, all right, can 6 do it? Yes. You might have to change the rules a little bit for us how many hours we can work with them, but you got to think about it. It's not normal when you don't have your team around. I mean, think about these teams that didn't go through spring football.
Yeah.
And so just show up in July and have July and August, that'll be enough to get you started. But anything later than that now, that's going to be a concern. If we can come in June, that's a bonus. But anything, if you push us late July, I'll be honest with you, the season's going to have to probably be pushed back. I mean, you can't, the safety of the players, it's just not the same. Unfortunately, you have to get your, and I'm not talking about running plays. It's not about that. I'm talking about just being healthy and shape. We're talking some big old guys on the O-line and D-line, and, it takes a little bit longer for those guys to get game ready.